Now here's one that I could definitely use if I have to teach some trigonometry again in the future. So what we have here, we have the unit circle, and we'll take a look at that first. And we have a slider here, and the slider will let you change the angle from 0 all the way up to 2 pi. So I'll do that to let you see what happens here. So over here, you can see that we're changing the angle, and we can go all the way up to 2 pi. And throughout all of this, blue is all things cosine, and red is all things sine. So the length of the blue segment here, and there could be a minus sign too as well, that's the cosine of the angle. And the length of the red segment, with or without a minus sign, is the value of the sine of that angle. So the student can follow that as the angle increases to see how, what happens to sine and cosine as you go around the unit circle. Up here, you can see which angle. I've limited it to the popular angles. So if you look inside here, sine and cosine, we have 0, pi over 6, pi over 4, and so forth. So I'm just limiting it to those common angles that the students study. And then you can see what the value of sine and cosine is as you go around. And then finally, you can compare it to what happens with the graphs of sine and cosine. So this is the graph of sine, and we see it unfolding as we move the slider. And you can see that, right, this is the height of the graph here, and it's always equal to the height of this segment here, because they both represent sine. All right, so it's a little bit harder to see for cosine, but the height of the blue segment here is the length of the blue segment here. So I think that's a really, really useful visualization for both teachers and students when they are trying to come to grips with understanding some trigonometry and sine and cosine in particular.